Hello everyone, welcome to Potato Gaming. In this video, we are looking to top 10 story-driven Android games. If you are bored with throwing some bullets in an action game, or arrange the lot at the city build game, or just want to seek an Android game with good story and narration, this video is definitely for you. In this video we'll show you top 10 story-driven Android games that you should try. Number 1 we have Florence. In Florence, the player follows the story of 25-year-old Florence as she lives her daily routine and meets Krish, a cellist she sees in the park. The game features little written dialogue and tells Florence's story through a series of brief chapters. Florence is divided into 20 chapters and 6 acts, each featuring a different portion of Florence's life. You as well need to solve puzzle and the minigame Trough the game. Number 2 is Old Man Journey. The game follows the trip of an old man, who starts to travel after receiving a letter containing some news. Throughout the game, some semi-still flashbacks explain the past life of the man. The gameplay mechanic needs you to tap to move the old man and swipe to modify the landscape so the old man can continue his journey. Number 3 is Forgotten Anne. Forgotten Anne is a seamless cinematic adventure with a focus on meaningful storytelling and light puzzle platforming. You are Anne, the enforcer who keeps order in the Forgotten Lands, as she sets out to squash a rebellion that might prevent her master, Bonku, and herself from returning to the human world.
Hey, freeze! Be careful!
Oops.
Number 4 is the Bards Tale.
About that rat any longer.
You mean it's dead? Oh, thank you. I can't...
The Bard's Tale is an action role-playing game that the plot involves a sardonic and opportunistic musician and adventurer, driven by carnal rather than noble pursuits. The appearance and gameplay is much the same as the Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance series, which shares the same graphics engine. In-game dialogue uses a snarky, or nice system that allows the player to change the outcome of many situations by deciding how they want to respond. Number 5 is Ticket to Earth. The game's set in a far future off-world colony, and you will follow the protagonist named Rose to fight mutant alien lifeforms, a robot uprising, and other threats together with 3 other team members. The turn-based tactical combat is complemented with tile-matching puzzle elements, as Rose and her enemies have to traverse floor tiles of matching colors to move and charge their combat powers. Number 6 is Joe Dever's Lone Wolf. Joe Dever's Lone Wolf is a role-playing game that based on the series of gamebooks by author Joe Dever entitled Lone Wolf. The story in this game involves lone wolf adventure to uncover the secret of the Scienti Cube. While traditional 3D action RPG combat is the main focus on the game, plot is mostly delivered through first-person perspective text similar to the gamebook series. Number 7 is The Silent Age. The game's story focuses on a janitor who is plunged into a task of saving humanity from an apocalyptic event by using time travel. He needs discovering the future that will come about if the event is not prevented. The Silent Age functions on a simple point-and-click interface, in which players can interact with specific objects when the cursor is over them, and must solve a series of puzzles to advance, mainly by finding items needed to overcome obstacles. Number 8 is 80 Days. The game plot is loosely based on Jules Verne's 1873 novel Around the World in 80 Days. The game follows the course of this adventure, as narrated by Phileas Fogg's manservant Passepartout, whose actions and decisions are controlled by the player. In their role as valet, the player must manage their finances, their master's health and time, as well as buying and selling items in different markets around the globe. The choices made by the player in story sections can also have a large impact on how the journey proceeds. Number 9 is Sorcery. The games are based on Steve Jackson's Sorcery, gamebook novels that led you to an epic adventure in a land of monsters, traps, and magic. The games are text-based fantasy quests based on Steve Jackson's choose-your-own-adventure novel and incorporate visual and interactive elements not present in the gamebooks. This game also uses hand-draw style that make it unique. Number 10 is Super Brothers, Sword and Sorcery EP. Super Brothers, Sword and Sorcery EP is an exploratory action-adventure with an emphasis on audio-visual style. Traverse a mythic little realm, use a sword to do battle, and evoke sorcery to solve mystical musical mystery. The gameplay itself combines both mobile and computer-like control schemes. The player taps where they want the character, a Scythian warrior, to go. The accelerometer is incorporated into the gameplay, with the user turning the device 90 degrees to make the Scythian take out her sword. Touching and holding on the Scythian will initiate a Song of Sorcery, a mechanic that allows the player to telepathically interact with the environment.